A German officer stripped a prisoner of war of his clothes, pulled out a pistol, and ordered him to squat in the 20-degree below zero water.
Weiter!
Then he took out a pocket watch and started timing. After just 1 minute, the prisoner couldn't hold on and was dragged ashore. The officer decided to test it himself. He took off his coat, walked into the freezing water, and began timing. Soon he shivered violently. Finally, he endured for 10 minutes and concluded that no one could swim across the 2-kilometer strait. So he crossed the 12th name off the hit list. But he had no idea that the 12th man not only swam across, but also escaped to the Swedish border. The border was fully blockaded by the Germans. Lud wanted to leave quickly but slipped and fell due to nervousness. He got up and tried to leave but was stopped by the officer. Thinking his cover was blown, Lud was terrified. However, the officer didn't recognize him and just returned his hat. Lud said thanks and left quickly. But soon the officer realized that the fallen man was the 12th on the list and sent a fighter plane after him. The pilot attacked from behind, but Lud skillfully dodged. The gunfire triggered an avalanche that buried him in snow. Thinking Lud was dead, the pilot reported to the officer, who wasn't convinced without a body, and sent soldiers to the avalanche site. They only found a broken snowboard and a tattered backpack. Lud had miraculously survived again and continued towards Sweden despite his injuries. But he fell into a river and his foot froze instantly. Still, he didn't give up and crawled forward until he stumbled into a farmer's house. He grabbed food and ate frantically before passing out. The kind-hearted owner, seeing he was a Norwegian, hid him in the attic of a storage room. When the Germans came to search, Lud hid in a haystack. The officer almost searched the attic but dropped his Nazi medal and bent down to pick it up. Lud narrowly escaped detection. After the Germans left, the farmer moved him to a remote cabin with enough food and promised to help him leave once he recovered. After a day of rest, the villager told him they had a contact. They loaded him onto a sled and dragged him to a rock for hiding, planning to send him to Sweden at night. But Lud waited for 3 days and nights without the contact showing up. On the 4th day, the villager realized they had the wrong pickup spot. They hurried back to the mountain, dug through the snow, and found Lud motionless. Thinking he was dead, they felt guilty. Suddenly, his eyes twitched. Miraculously, Lud survived again in the 40-degree below zero snow.